Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome back to Scatter Love Tarot, with your girl coming at you with another pick a card reading. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. And should these messages happen to resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And if you are truly new here, we do things a little bit differently here on this channel. So I suggest you strap in, hang on, and you and I are going to find out together. So today we are going to be asking, why are people secretly jealous of you? And this has been a requested reading, so we're going to go ahead and do that today. It is a bit windy. I have the windows open because I have something going on with my AC, so hopefully the candle will hold out. It's blown out twice, but I think I've got the window down to where there's still air coming in and it's not so rough on the candle. But we are going to be using my Earth Magic deck today by Stephen D. Farmer, and this is what that looks like. This is my original Oracle deck, the very first one that I got, so I have an affinity to this one, and it's been a while since I brought it out. So let us go ahead and get to your prayer first, and we will get this reading underway. All right. Glad the wind started blowing. It was just stagnant air for a while, and so it was just kind of like hot in here. And now the wind's blowing and it feels so good. Alright. Alright, my beloved source, this prayer is for any and all who come onto this reading, whether it's for the entire time or for a moment's time. Today I ask that you remind us of just how incredible we truly are, and that regardless of what anyone else thinks of us, that is never or will ever be a reflection of who we are. That the only thing that matters is how we truly see ourselves and how we treat ourselves and how we admire and love ourselves, and that this is what is important as we continue to move forward on our daily basis. And while these readings are entertaining, they're solely meant to be entertaining, and for those of us that need it at this time, I do ask that you bring forth clarity and a reminder of our true inner power and our true inner strength, and a reminder of just how amazing we're doing on this very difficult journey that is oftentimes incredibly worth it, but at other times is very frustrating. Please bring forth that encouragement that anyone here needs, and also clarifying the path as we forge ahead. As these words are spoken unto this reading and upon this tribe, so shall they be. Amen. Aho. Aseh. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my beloved source. Thank you. Okay, let me get that set up over here. Maybe I can get it in the hanger. Okay, get the ash out of the way. All right, now I did give these a shuffle, but I'll go ahead and shuffle them a couple more times here just to get in. So source, why are people secretly jealous of my tribe? What would you like to share with us today, source? Why are people secretly jealous of my tribe? What would you like to bring forth today? Why are people secretly jealous of my tribe? All right. So source, for pile number 1, what Earth Magic Oracle card will help us better understand why people are secretly jealous of pile number 1? Thank you. Okay, source, for pile number 2, what Earth Magic Oracle card will help us better understand why people are secretly jealous of pile number 2? Thank you. And for pile number 3, source, what Earth Magic Oracle card will help us better understand why people are secretly jealous of pile number 3? Wow. Okay. And on the bottom of the deck, we've got, yeah, we've got ceremony with invocation. And this feels like, to me, that the reason that people are secretly jealous of you is because of the connection that you have with the divine. Your ability to tap in, to understand, to receive the downloads that you're receiving, and the psychic senses that you have, and how much you continue to grow those psychic abilities. You know, it's just like a muscle. If we don't use it, we can't grow it. So there's a lot of people here that are very jealous of the fact that you are capable of maybe channeling, maybe you do some sort of divination. You don't have to. This could revolve completely around your faith and your ability to spend time in prayer and to receive answers. Did the camera just totally blitzed out and got closer? Yeah. Hold on, too far. There we go. Yeah, so it's just talking about the messages that you receive from above and the messages that you receive from the divine. And also that you're not afraid to go there. You know, there's a lot of people who are afraid to do those things because they're afraid of, you know, things they don't understand. They're afraid of what they think are potential dangers. I also feel this energy that they're going off of old beliefs from the past or from what other people have told them, you know, touching into negative energy or evil energy or something. And you are brave enough to go down that road without worrying about it because you've done the research. You know, a lot of people are in this place of ignorance is bliss. And if we don't actually encourage ourselves to dig in and look at things that we don't understand, we're never going to understand them. And we can always stay in a place of judgment, but we're staying in a place of being hypocritical because we don't actually understand that. And we want people to understand where we're coming from. And the only people who understand where we're coming from are the ones who have done the research, right? So in this, it really feels like there's a lot of people here who are secretly jealous of you because you're doing things in a different way. You're incredibly spiritual. You take time to speak with Source. You take time to have that connection. And on top of that, you have a lot of transformations that come into your life easily and seemingly effortlessly. Some of you may be into candle magic or gemstone magic. That's what I'm hearing. Also, many of you have found the key to living a very peaceful and harmonious life, and that's why people are secretly jealous of you. Let's see what this says from the book. I don't actually bring out the book often for these because I have used them so much, but, you know, never hurts to have a refresher. All right, let's see. Ceremony. Okay. It says, whether through indifference, depression, life crisis, or any other manifestation of mental, emotional, physical blockages, you've drifted from the intimacy with spirit for which you yearn. It is important to do what you can to regain an experience of spiritual power that is contained within you and all around you. Do so by conducting a ceremony, one that involves not only spirit, but also material objects you consider sacred. Set up an altar in a convenient area that is apart from your usual living space, and start with representations of the four major elements, earth, air, fire, and water, and then add just a few sacred objects. Set your intention for the ceremony, such as whether the purpose is for healing, celebration, or honoring a particular earth season or cycle. Then do an invocation to call upon your spirit guides. Breathe their presence and ask these divine beings to guide you through the process. Trust their guidance. Feel your heartbeat and keep breathing. Breath is the key to actual experience of spirit, and creating a ceremony is the vehicle that supports this. Yeah, so that's what it is. It's because you're capable of connecting with spirit and with source, and that's why they feel this way. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you being you has nothing to do with how another person shows up. And so if they're not willing to do the work or even considering to do the work for themselves, then they're always going to have that feeling of lack. And of course that elicits jealousy, but it's also kind of one of those self-serving prophecies. You're always going to see everyone as better than you if you're not putting in the effort, and that's exactly where this is coming from. All right, so let me move these up a little bit. Okay, so for pile number 1, we do have this. I found this rock just the other day here where I'm at, and it's so round and perfect. It's beautiful. Okay, we also have this dice with the 5th house on it. All right, for pile number 2, we have this shell, which came to me outside. Just appeared one day out by the bench. So my fairy's at it again. Okay, or you have this dice with the 4th house on it. And for pile number 3, we have this beautiful moonstone. Or we have this dice with the 6th house on it. Okay. Pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. And whichever pile you feel drawn to, that should be the pile for you, and I will see you over there. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this rock, or if you were drawn to this dice with the 5th house on it, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be a reading on why are people secretly jealous of you. I do want to say first, thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and space with you. And for anybody new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. And should these messages happen to resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And if you are truly new here, we do things a little bit differently on this channel, so I suggest strapping in, hanging on, and you and I are going to find out together. So with that being said, let's hop to it and find out source. Why are people secretly jealous of pile number 1? What messages would you like to come through today? Why are people secretly jealous of pile number 1? What would you like to say today? Okay, so we've got the 11th house, Scorpio energy, and Mars. You have a can-do attitude. Nothing feels impossible for you, and that seems to rub some people the wrong way because they feel like the world is impossible, or like the world never wants them to win or succeed. But you know, at the end of the day, the world is what we make it, and we have to go out and take what we want. And that's the type of energy that you have, and that's why people are secretly jealous of you. You get along well with people. You also have this very fluid energy where you're able to connect with different people, and it's almost like no matter where you go, you fit in, and you lead people. People are influenced by you because you have this very big presence and this very big energy. You're also very secretive and very deep. You have a very deep soul and a very deep spirit. A lot of people don't get a chance to know that part of you because not everybody is genuine, and you have learned that along the way. And I feel like a lot of the people who are coming in who are jealous, they have also felt the sting of you leaving them or having to vibrate out of their lives because you've had to take your own life into your hands. We do see here with the Scorpio energy and the Mars energy, this energy of being shoved into competitions that you had no idea you were getting involved in. And a lot of people are jealous because you're winning. But to be fair, pile one, you didn't even know you were in a competition to begin with these other individuals. You are doing it for yourself. You're not doing it to outshine others. You're doing it for the sole purpose of this is what you're passionate about and this is what drives you. And we do see with Scorpio energy that it can attract a lot of jealousy, obsessive, oppressive energy. And so a lot of people have tried to make you small, but no matter how another person shows up or no matter how another person tries to put you down, you still continue to be yourself. And that's why people are secretly jealous of you. You don't let others determine who you're going to be or what your worth is, because you're determining that all the time. You're finding out more about who you are and connecting deeper with yourself and really trying to let that be what guides you. And you're just not afraid. You're not afraid to put yourself out there. And that's why people are secretly jealous of you. Let's get some tarot on it. Today is not going to be a super long reading. It's going to be pretty short and to the point, but it will still have the quality of my longer readings. And I'm going to be using my original deck today. I just feel like an affinity towards it this week, so it's very humid today. The cards are a little sticky. Yeah, I feel like that's the thing. You have recognized the illusions that were playing in your life, and you're going on to building an empire for yourself. You're going on to build something of substantial significance. And people are secretly jealous because you found the key to yourself, to what is working for you. And you made some very, very big changes for your journey and for yourself. All right, Source, why are people secretly jealous of pile number 2? And you've come a long way. You've gained a lot of emotional maturity. So you don't let people walk all over you anymore. You don't let people get the better of you. If people don't have much to offer you, it's like you're not afraid to give people a chance. But also equally so, you have gained enough discernment that if people are trying to pull one over on you, you have a tendency to know rather quickly who's trying to pull one over on you. Why are people secretly jealous? Thank you. Cards are acting really weird. Alright. Why are people secretly jealous of pile number 1, Source? What would you like to say? Thank you. They really thought you were going to have a great fall, or that you were going to fail at what it was that you're doing, but you're not. You're actually succeeding. So with the 3 of Cups here in the reverse, this could be a parent, a mother or father, or a caretaker, because this talks about childhood neglect, right? This talks about you having to step up and take care of people that weren't your responsibility to take care of, but that became the dynamic in the childhood that you had. And it could be even siblings. Maybe you were there raising siblings that you weren't supposed to raise, but because of what was going on, you had to step up to the plate and do that. So this is close to home, the people who are jealous of you. And it could be childhood friends as well. People who expected you to always be the one that was going to help them with everything, drop everything and come do what they needed you to do. We do see here an unhealed individual or unhealed individuals coming through that they're not willing to go the distance to work on themselves, to heal themselves. And so they want everybody in their wake to just vibrate at this low vibration with them, so they're not alone, so they're not having to deal with the difficulties alone. And seeing you happy, seeing you thrive, seeing you grow, seeing you become who you're becoming, it really irritates them because they don't understand how you've done it. But equally so, they're not willing to come forward and ask, hey, Can you give me some tips and pointers on how you've gotten to where you've gotten to? Because their pride is in the way and their ego is playing a huge part as to why they're feeling the way that they're feeling. They're not willing to go inside and see that their jealousy is something that they're projecting. So we've got the Two of Cups in the reverse. We're going to look at this real quick. We've got the 10 of Wands. Okay. And the Moon in the reverse. So we've got Cancer and Pisces energy. We've got Scorpio as well. We've got all the water signs, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. We've got Aquarius and Aries energy as well. So you could have Aries in the second house, or Aries in the second house. Well, yeah, I guess you could have Mars in the second house is what was coming through. You could have the Scorpio moon, Sagittarius rising, Sagittarius in the third house. Is that right? Why do I feel like that sounds weird right now? It just sounds so weird. I don't know. Like, when I started, here's the deal. Before we get into the cards, let me say, when I started your reading, like, I had to stop and start again, because if you watch the collective reading, the camera it zoomed in, and I can't tell you why it's been doing this, but I had to stop your reading because as soon as I hit play, it zoomed all the way in on the card and it was just sitting there, and I was trying to zoom out. It wouldn't let me zoom out. I had to actually close the camera and open the camera back up so that I could get it working again. So I had to stop and restart your reading again. And so there's a lot of things that feel very weird right now. It feels like this energy is very chaotic in your energy field. And they're doing their best to make it seem even more chaotic for you so that you'll stop doing the things that you want. And I feel like this person is very manipulative. And I'm saying one person, but it could be many people, right? This could be a lot of people who are like this. But there's one really overpowering energy that is entirely manipulative. And hold on, let me pull out my granite and see if that helps me. Whoosh. Okay. Yeah, there's a really strong energy here. This is someone, I was feeling in my head. I was feeling it in my body, my shoulders. As soon as I picked up the granite, it was like something drained out of my shoulders and straight into the granite. So this is someone who has had a broken heart. And they are in this energy of feeling like everybody that they meet should have the same broken heart that they have, because they feel like nobody understands what they went through, and they're afraid that people are going to hurt them first, and they hurt people first so that they're not going to have that again. Okay, but what they're not seeing and what they don't recognize is that you too have had something very heavy happen to you in your life. And so they're secretly jealous of you because they think that you've never had to deal with something as heartbreaking as what they've gone through. They feel like no one could understand them, and especially not you, pile number one, because it seems like life has been handed to you on some silver platter. You don't have to worry about hardships. You don't have to deal with difficulties. You don't have to deal with responsibilities that are not yours. But these people don't know who you are. Like, they don't know anything about you. They don't know anything about your story. And so they're jealous because they filled in blanks with what makes sense to them, not with what reality is. So their jealousy is completely unwarranted too, because they don't actually know what it is that you've been through, right? And with the 10 of Wands here in the center of the reading, this talks about a friend that's with you through thick and thin, through all the hard times in life. So this could be someone who you thought was going to be there with you through thick and thin, through all the hard miles in your life, and they might have thought the same thing of you, but I do feel like they never thought you were as genuine as you came off. But now that you're gone, they have this huge gaping hole in their life where they're recognizing that you were far more genuine than anyone else they've ever met. And I feel like you had to leave because you recognized that there was a potential for danger here. Danger with your emotions, danger for a lack of empathy, danger for a lack of caring as well. And you had to protect yourself. You'd already experienced enough of that in your childhood. And that's why this person's jealous of you. You left them before they could leave you. And that's not how they do things. And this person could try to come back, or has tried to come back multiple times. It wouldn't surprise me if you cut communication with this person, or if you've cut communication with these people. This could be a group of people as well. But again, it feels like one person. It's just incredibly strong. Whoa. Let me grab a drink because this is... wow. A lot of anger at seeing you succeed. They just always felt like eventually you would give up. Maybe you gave up a lot of times before. Maybe you didn't do the things that you needed to, but this person really believed or thought that eventually you would give up and you wouldn't actually succeed. Okay, my apologies. I had to take care of something. Yeah, this is someone who really thought you were just going to be your old self. Maybe you never finished anything, or maybe you would get started with something and you wouldn't complete it, or maybe that's just how they viewed you. Or they never saw you complete anything because you maybe never talked about it because this person might have been negative, or they thought they had access to every aspect of your life, but you really didn't give them that much. That's why this person is secretly jealous of you. And this could be a Cancer, Sagittarius, a Pisces. Yeah, so let's dig a little bit deeper into this. Also, while I was off, I had to pop my neck and my shoulders. And you might be like, why are you popping your own? But no, I do yoga moves that end up popping these joints and bones for me. And so, but my shoulders were like really... oh, it was awful. I was talking about how I felt it in my shoulders. And I feel better, but when I was standing, I could hear my heartbeat in my ears. And I feel like this person gets incredibly mad every time you succeed at something. I have no idea why I'm shuffling these. Okay. I don't ever shuffle my oracle, but here I am shuffling them. Okay, so... okay, they want one more of these. Yeah, fixed. They could be a Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius. Stability, persistence, loyalty, and dependability. I feel like they're secretly jealous of you because your dependability and your loyalty is to you, not to them. But you tried to give it to them and it was never well received. And this feels like someone who is expecting you to just put up with however they're going to treat you. But if you're going to treat people like crap and also expect those same people to be loyal to you, that's kind of a messed up way to go into a relationship. But some people, they do, right? They're going to be mean and then expect people to assist them or help them with things, but then get upset when people either treat them the same way or walk away. And that's exactly what this feels like. Like Sagittarius. Optimism, exploration, and freedom. Yeah, you had to choose yourself. You had to free yourself from this potentially incredibly heavy bond. Right? So let's see. What do they want here? What else would you like to tell pile number one source? Oh, I cannot tell you how much better I feel now that my back cracked and my neck cracked. Oh, that was crazy. It was almost like something was sitting on top of me. And I feel like that's maybe what you were experiencing. You could be experiencing shoulder and neck pain. And they're saying that that's where the energy from this person or these people are sitting at on you, is in your neck and on your shoulders. Like feeling like it's not safe to love. I'm not usually one to take that many, but I feel like I need to take these for some reason. Okay, on the bottom, the sun, shine, sparkle, and steal the spotlight. Yeah, don't be afraid to steal the spotlight. Look, this person has their own life to live. They have their own chance to stand out and shine. It is not up to you or anyone else to do that. They have to choose that for themselves. We've got balance coming out. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. And I feel like that's the thing. Like, you would have been willing to help this person, or you would have been willing to be there for them. But ultimately, at the end of the day, they were too consumed by their own internal feelings that they let a good thing go. right? On the bottom, adversity. Accept the challenges are the best way to learn. So you went through a lot of adversity. I feel like this person, they either don't believe that you have your own story, they believe that you're making up a story, or they feel like it's not as bad as what they went through, or that they're mad because you have a story. Yeah. Wow. Why would anybody be mad that you have a story? Like, I don't even know what to say to that. I'm just kind of flabbergasted right now. Okay. We've got Don Juan flipping out here. Spotlight your positive, seductive qualities in the shadows, using power of romantic attraction for private agendas. So this could be an ex. Could be an ex-friend, someone who's romantically attracted to you that you had no idea about because you weren't romantically attracted to them. You could even know who this person is. Honestly, I'm getting this very big indication that this could be someone who is same-sex. And either you or them are actually straight. And, you know, take it as it resonates. No judgments or anything here. We're accepting everybody. But I feel like this is somebody who, or maybe you are into same-sex relationships and this person is straight. So whatever it is, right? So it's like they were expecting you to just be their type, or for them to be your type. But I feel like you don't swing whichever way they swing. I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense, right? Yeah, healer. Okay. We have light attributes. Passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and spirit. Ability to help transform pain into healing. Shadow. Taking advantage of those who need help. Failing to care for oneself. So I do feel like they took advantage of you, but you've learned to transmit that energy into something more positive for your own journey. And that's why they're secretly jealous of you. All right, thank you. On the bottom, we have determination. Yeah, that goes back to what I was saying. Like, they never expected you to stay true to the path that you're on. But I feel like you got a taste of healing and how much it affected you. And you're like, oh, nope, this is it for me. I'm committed. That's often what happens when people really put their energy into healing themselves. They recognize, wow, this actually has helped me a lot. And why would you go back on something that's helping you, right? Yeah, flexible. Bend but not break. Shift with grace. That's it. You've become so flexible. You're no longer breaking. And I feel like maybe this person has broken you, or they have seen you break for things that were like that they did to you, or that they've seen other people do to you, and now you're not breaking. No matter what happens, you're still just a strong energy. I want to get a shadow aspect for you. Let me get a shadow aspect for pile number 1, source. Oh my goodness. Oh, I feel all this energy draining right now. Yeah, I'm glad that Source brought this through, because I feel like you are also in the process of purging their energy. Maybe you didn't know you needed to purge their energy, and that's why Source is talking about this particular person. It's interesting that I immediately reached for the garnet, so maybe working with garnet will help you a lot. Garnet is a very powerful stone. Distance, so far away physically and emotionally. See if you can rekindle the passion again. Yeah, I feel like they're going to come back in and they're going to say some stuff. They're going to try to dupe you. I really can't say in my heart of hearts that I feel that this person's genuine when they come back in, because I don't. However, there's always a however. Source is really indicating here for you to use your discernment and to pay attention to what you're feeling if this person does come back, okay? Wow, look at that. We've got Chiron. Hurt and heal. That's the thing. I feel like that's the thing. They wish that they had a story that was as harrowing as yours. What a weird thing for people to wish for, right? Like, oh, I wish that I experienced as much hardship as you did. Why would anybody want that? Because in their mind, they believe that that's the reason that you're as successful as you are, is because of all the hard things that you went through, which is true in some sense, but that's only a piece of the pie. It's not the whole shebang bang, right? You're successful in where you're at because of your faith, because of trusting the process, because you've let source help you get to where you're going, because you've trusted your angels, your guides, your intuition. Like, there's so many other things that go into this. Like, what do we've got? Fire. Do it with passion. Yeah, the reason that you're staying with what it is that you're doing now is because you're very passionate about it, right? Taking the lead with this area, or with this Mars energy here. We've got Leo. Confidence in key is key. So you could have Leo very highly aspected in your chart as well, but I just feel like you're very confident about who you are now. And that's what people are secretly jealous of you, especially this person. They've never seen you as confident as you are now. And maybe you have way less than you used to have. Stellium. Stop obsessing. Yeah, so this person's obsessed with you. Oh my gosh, they refresh your page like crazy. Retrograde. Reflect, refine, redo. And I feel like that's the thing. You've definitely reflected on this connection, what it meant to you, what you've been through in regards to that. And you're letting go of it completely. I also feel like this is just a reminder from source that it's okay for you to purge out your energy as well. Okay? Yeah, rejection. They're jealous of you because you rejected them, which is interesting. This feels interesting to me because I feel like you had to reject them because they rejected you, but they rejected you in a way that they thought you were going to come back. So again, that manipulation is coming through. It's like, I'm going to play this game, and they kept playing this game, and you figured out the game, and you're like, oh, I don't want any part of that. And so you bounced, and they were like, oh, how dare they? That's how it feels. Love, yeah. So this could have been someone that you were in love with. Appreciation, fondness, respect, and trust. This, again, it could have been a friend, right? The Ten of Wands and the Tarot Marseille talks about someone that's been there through a lot with you. So you had a lot of love and appreciation for this person. And eventually you saw through the masks. Wow, look at that. For this card to come out. Jealousy, possessiveness, competitiveness, dependence, and paranoia. Wasn't I saying at the beginning that there's a lot of competitions that you had no idea you were a part of? And everyone feels like, oh my gosh, like pile one is outdoing me. How could they outdo me? They're not better than me, and this, that, and the other. And you're like, because I don't know that I'm part of a competition. Fierce temper, has too many anger issues and dark moods, abusive. So this could have also been something that was going on, is like the shadow aspect here. This is someone who has a very severe temper that affects the way that they showed up for you, or in the connection between you. And you had to leave. Drowning. You're going under and barely keeping things afloat. Ask for help. Yeah. And I feel like that's the thing here, is you were drowning, and this person never gave you what you needed, what you deserved, and you had to choose yourself. And you should never feel bad for choosing yourself, right? Like, you should always rejoice for choosing yourself, because sometimes we're in really bad situations, right? When we think it's something else and it's not. It's really connected to us purging out an old wound that continues to repeat in our lives. Let's take a look at your card here. Full moon, completion. I love this for you. This is the completion of a cycle. This is something that is ending for good, and that's why I keep getting the purging energy. So maybe you're already in the process of purging this, and if you're not, like, that's something that's coming for you, is completely purging this from your energy for good. And you're not going to be dealing with people like this, or you will be dealing with people like this, but you're going to know immediately that this is not a person for me, and you're going to gracefully leave. And it has taught you a lot along the journey, but you have stepped up into a place of personal power, and that's really what irks this person, but that's their journey to contend with and not yours. You keep doing you, boo, because you've come a long way. A long way. And let me tell you, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you for overcoming this and choosing yourself, because I completely understand that that is not the easiest thing to do. So I do feel like this is one particular person. Okay? So this is what I see here for you, pile number one. Let me give you big, big energetic hugs, surrounding you with all this love and healing light. May the violet light of Source bring healing and purging to you now. And may Archangel Michael sever any ties that may potentially still be connected to this person so that you can free yourself and move forward with strength, courage, and dive into the passions that you have, okay? As these words are spoken over pile number 1, so shall they be. Amen. Ahoa say. Thank you, Source. Thank you, Source. Thank you, Source. So if you felt like this was your pile, leave the full moon emoji down below and say, I choose myself because I deserve to be free and I deserve to be seen as who I am. And if you feel like it resonated, it would mean so much to me for you to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, check out the description box. It has everything you need, including how to reach me for a personal reading, as well as how to join as a member here on the channel. And with that, I do want to take a quick second to thank your guides, thank your spirit messengers, angels, Source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this difficult but still incredible message for you, pile number 1. I love you so much, and I'm honored that you let me do this reading for you. I'm going to leave this here, and until next time, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this seashell here, or if you're drawn to this dice with the 4th house, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be a reading on who is or why are people secretly jealous of you. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and space with you. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. And should this message happen to resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And if you are truly new here, we do things a little bit differently on this channel, so I suggest dropping in, hanging on, and you and I are going to find out together. So with that, let's hop to it and find out. Source, why are people secretly jealous of pile number 2? What message would you like to share with us today? Why are people secretly jealous of pile number 2? What would you like them to know? Why are people secretly jealous of pile number 2, Source? What would you like to say? Okay, so we've got the 2nd house, Capricorn energy, and Saturn. Interesting. You are a very determined person. You're very dedicated to your craft or to your company or to your business, whatever it is that you're doing. You're very dedicated to it, and because of that, you're surrounded by a lot of self-worth and a lot of value for yourself, because you know that the more you value yourself, the easier it is for you to have success in what it is that you're doing each and every day at work, and showing up with that as well. And so people are secretly jealous of you because of how dedicated you are and how discipline is not something that you shy away from. There are a lot of people who look at discipline as a terrible thing. Like, oh my gosh, I don't have discipline. I can never be disciplined. It's just an awful punishment to have discipline in life. But discipline is the only thing that actually brings us closer to what it is that we're trying to manifest each and every day. And you have really cracked down and allowed yourself to be dedicated, disciplined, determined, and to show up with a resolve that is unshakable. I also am getting the energy of the father wound right here, especially with Capricorn and Saturn coming out, because Capricorn is technically the father of the zodiac. And so when it makes itself known, there's also a hint of the father known here, or the father wound being known. So maybe you have a father who helps you, or you have had gotten support from somebody in your family that may be like a father to you. So that could be a grandfather, a mentor, an uncle, your own father. But maybe you're receiving help from them, or maybe You have healed your own father wound, and this has allowed you to connect with people along the journey that are willing to help you because of that healing of that wound. And I feel like there's a lot of people that are jealous of you because of the help that you've received along your journey, but you've earned it, right? You've been through it already, and you did the work, and those are the rewards for doing the work. I do feel like, Pile 2, you enjoy a lot of the finer things in life. I feel like you may very well like to do some luxurious things, like take yourself to the spa or get a massage or go to the sauna or go, out to eat in very fancy restaurants, or what's fancy to other people, right? It doesn't even have to be super elegant. It could just be what's fancy to you, and that also is fancy to the people that have been around you. I also feel like you're not afraid to date yourself and go by yourself. But you could also have friends, family, and lovers that go with you as well. I feel like people are super jealous of you, or secretly jealous of you, because you are so grounded in what it is that you're doing. Like, nothing shakes you. That's what I keep feeling. Like, nothing shakes you. Even the sense of potential failure, that still doesn't shake you, because you see it as a lesson, or you see it as something that you can learn from. You see it as information that you can glean and use towards your growth, right? Which ultimately is the journey, is learning from those difficult moments and saying, okay, well, we know what doesn't work, so let's not try that again. Let's try something else. And you're always pivoting, but you pivot in a way that is incredibly grounded and foundational. And this is why people are secretly jealous of you. Let's get some more with the tarot and see if we can open this up a little bit. See what's coming through. Alright, so Source, why are people secretly jealous of pile number 2? What would you like to share with us today? The cards are sticky. It's so humid today. What would you like to share with us? Why are people secretly jealous of pile number 2? You take your time. You're not in a rush to get anywhere. And, Capricorns, they do this work. They work so hard in life for everything that they have. And it's not about the goal. It's about the process. A lot of the earth signs are like that, actually. I would say definitely Taurus and Capricorn are like that. Virgo is more on they're such a perfectionist that it's hard for them to be in that. So they're always worrying about how it looks. And nothing against if that's your sign. Like, please, you have beautiful attributes as well. But I'm just pointing out that in the regards of working towards something, and we can all take on different traits and attributes of the zodiac. But with the Capricorn coming through here, I do feel like you are embodying that at this time. You could have Capricorn highly aspect in your chart as well. You could have Saturn in Capricorn, or Capricorn in Saturn. You could also have Saturn in the 10th house. I don't know why I'm hearing retrograde Saturn, but I am. You could have Capricorn in the 2nd house. You could also have highly benefic placements of Saturn, if that's a thing, but it is coming through as a channel, so it must be a thing. I don't know. I'm still learning. I feel like you could spend your whole life learning astrology and you would still only touch the tip of the iceberg with it. It's such a massive topic. All right, Source, let's see if we can get to it. Thank you. Why are people secretly jealous of pile number 2, Source? Why are people secretly jealous of pile number 2? Whoa. Okay, so we're going to go with it. Oh, okay. Alright. Yeah. There's a lot of nosy people here in your energy. People are trying to figure out what it is that you're doing. You move in silence. Or you have at least gotten really good at moving in silence, because maybe at one point you didn't move in silence and you learned your lesson. And from learning that lesson, now you do move in silence. And there's a lot of people who are trying to figure out what it is that you're doing, what it is that's going on in your life, what it is that you're putting your time, your energy, and effort to. But they do see that you are disciplined. They do see that you're dedicated to creating something, but they want to know what it is that you're creating. Whether that's for them to try and copy it, or it feels more or less they just want to know because they want to know if you're being successful. Because maybe these are people who have loose lips and they've told everybody that you're going to give up, or they've told everybody that you're not going to get there, or they've told everybody that you're failing and that's why you're not sharing, and they want to know if they're right or wrong. But ultimately, it's just nosiness, right? This is people who are sticking their nose into other people's business because emotionally, they feel like they're lacking something. Wow, a lot of fives here. Maybe you see 555 a lot, right? We have the 5 of Wands in the reverse. These are people who don't change. No matter what, at the end of the day, whether you're successful or you're not successful, whether you're helping them or you're not helping them, they view you the same, as a problem, as a thorn in their side, right? They don't see you as a person. They see you as an obstacle in their journey or in their way. Ugh. But Source has helped you overcome these individuals. And now look at you being this BA in your Empress energy. You're this very loving, outgoing, kind person, but you're also incredibly grounded. And wow. 1 second. Oh my goodness. They really do not want me to tell you. Okay. Let's try that again. It is so crazy. I have this incense. It's been lit. It was lit and it keeps going out. No matter how many times I light it, it goes out. Okay. I'm going to try one more time here. We're going to see if we can light it. But with this, you are now standing in this incredibly beautiful, grounded energy. What I was going to say is that we were talking about Taurus. We were talking about Taurus and Capricorn, how it's the journey. It's not about the end result. It's literally about making the journey, because the journey is where you get your stability from, right? And you're not afraid to put in the hard work. I would say out of the entire zodiac, I believe, just from my research and from the ones that I have met, I believe that Capricorns are the hardest workers. And please, that is in no way means to say, like, if you're not a Capricorn, you're not a hard worker. That's not what that's saying. But if you just kind of compare the amount of work that a Capricorn will take on versus someone who's not, or someone who has highly aspect Capricorn in their chart, they're just... I mean, they'll become workaholics, and that is a shadow aspect of being a Capricorn, right? Is being a workaholic. But here with Taurus as well, I call Taurans the stability of the zodiac. Why? Because they work to create a solid foundation so that everything else is easy for them, right? Everything else comes fluidly for them, as long as they have this solid foundation. And that's why it was like, why I was coughing, because that's another reason why they're secretly jealous of you, is you've built a solid foundation. You're also very loving and nurturing. You haven't changed. Your being and who you are hasn't changed based on the amount of money that you've received or what it is that you enjoy in life. The finer things, the beauty in life, the small things in life, even the big things in life. You're still this very loving, kind, generous person, but now the difference is that you've taken up protecting something that is yours, that you've built, that you've put the time, the effort into. And that's another reason why they're secretly jealous, is because you don't share what you used to share anymore. And so even if they are nosy, they no longer can receive the information that they want to receive, so that they can go and, you know, whatever they were going to do with it, whether that's gossip, whether that's try to use it against you, whether that's trying to create blockages in your life, whatever it is. Source has basically put a shield between you and them, no matter this person. And that's the other thing to remember. I feel like there's a lot of people out there scaring people, you know, like, oh, someone's using black magic against you. And I feel like this person could have done that, or this person could have gone and gotten a ritual done on you. But I want to remind everybody here that if people are scaring you, especially tarot readers, if they're scaring you because of the fear of the darkness, or they're saying it's evil or this, that, and the other, I just want to remind you that with Source on your side, nothing will ever penetrate your energy field. And you should never be concerned about lower vibrational entities or people, because yes, while they can affect us energetically at some times, our spirit is so much stronger than we give it credit for. And that's why it's this reminder that as long as we're keeping our senses about us and we're reminding ourselves that we are this strong spirit, those low vibrational energies are not going to have any effect on us. It's when we give our power over to these things that they can wreak havoc in our lives. And I don't know why I'm bringing that up on your reading. So there might be someone here or a group of people that are fearful that if people are performing black magic on you, that they're winning, but they're not. Remember that life is always going to be lifing. That's just it. There's always going to be things that happen, and there's always going to be things that are out of our control. That does not automatically mean that somebody is performing magic on you, okay? And we have to draw away from that too. We have to stop thinking that just because, you know, I had an issue today, or I wasn't able to get to work on time, or all these things just seem to be spiraling out of control. That's life. Right? That's just life. It just happens. There's things that happen. And if we're reminding ourselves that we are protected by the divine, which is what Source is saying here with the Three of Swords in the middle of your reading, no matter what, you are protected from this person or from anybody. If this is even a group of people, it wouldn't even matter if they got 1,000 people together. They still would not have any amount of energy to put towards you, because Source is protecting you. Because you've done so much work, you've built up your faith, you've built up your connection with the divine, and it's beneficial for you to just turn your back and not worry about these people at all anymore. And whether it's knowing these people or you don't know these people, just turn your back on them and trust that Source is going to lead you to where it is that you're going. But I do feel like this is why people are secretly jealous of you too, because I do feel like if they have been performing any kind of rituals on you, all of their rituals have been backfiring, and it's been causing a lot of chaos in their own life. And they're like, why is this not working? Why is this not going to pile number 2? And that's why. It's because it's being reverberated back to them. And I feel like you've placed a protection around you to either send it back to, return to sender, or also to return to Source to be transmuted into something positive for your journey, right? And whichever one Source is choosing, that is the right one. And you're open to that. And that's what this really feels like. But Source is saying there's this very strong message coming in for you, Pile 2, to not fear those that could be potentially trying to curse you or send negativity your way, or to send upsets your way, or to send blockages your way, because they're not going to win. You have done too much work, and you've come too high in vibration for these things to touch you. Okay? That's a very strong message. Interesting. Let's see if we can get some more on it. Source, why are people secretly jealous of pile number 2? What else would you like to share with pile number 2? I just feel like you've been through so much, and maybe that's why pile number 2 is like, especially with Saturn and Capricorn energy here, it feels like I've been through so much. How could this not be someone affecting my journey? And maybe it's just because you have certain placements that you're meant to go through those, or you're really letting go of past life karma, or you're really just healing generational curses. And sometimes when we're doing these things, there's so much that we have to sift through and understand about ourselves and about even our lineage, that it seems like it's something that someone else is forcing onto us, when in reality it's not. It's just because we're really healing a deep wound that's been passed on through mothers or through fathers, right? Yeah, Scorpio, look at this. Intensity and exposing, purging and renewing. Exactly what I was saying. So Source is exposing this to you right now, but reminding you that a lot of what you've been through has been you purging and renewing your spirit. And that's why you're standing in this Empress energy right now. You're untouchable. And that's also why people are secretly jealous of you, because you are untouchable. They can't get to you. They can't bother you. They can't trip you up off your path, and they wish they could. We have Ascendant here. Maybe you have a Scorpio rising. Take things at face value. Exactly. So if you woke up this morning like I did and the air conditioner was leaking all over the place and you're like, what the hey is going on here? It's face value. There's something going on with the air conditioner. It needs to be looked at. It's not because of anything else. It's just because that's life, right? So taking things at face value. That's just the example here, right? I'm just trying to come up with a real life example so you see. I could have woke up and I could have been like, who's cursing me? Who's trying to make my life terrible? Why is this happening to me? And instead it was just like, okay, this is something that needs to be attended to. So we're going to sit with the windows open today and the fan blowing because that's what I can do. And instead of being upset or drained by it, just trusting that everything's going to work out the way it's meant to. I trust Source, right? That's what they're saying. Just trust that Source is going to get you to where you're going. Don't try to think that everything that's happening to you is something that somebody is sending your way. Because the more that you think that way, the more you believe that, the more that things are going to come your way just because you're opening yourself up to that. And Source is saying, like, I have formed a protective shield around you so that nothing negative will prosper against you, right? But that also means that you have to take life in stride. Look, lunar eclipse, out with the old. Yeah, you're definitely cleansing. And maybe this is something you believed for a long time, and now you're realizing that, okay, there's just something else about life that makes more sense to you, and you're seeing, okay, well, I wouldn't have learned this if this hadn't happened, or I wouldn't have known this about myself if that over there hadn't happened. So maybe there's more to it than just somebody trying to hurt me. Right, we have acceptance. I'm learning to accept the things I cannot change, and this card is sticking to my arm. I don't know, can you see it? It's literally stuck to my arm. Like, no. Why? Because solar eclipse is underneath that. Watch doors of opportunity swing open. And we're in, for 2025, we're in Virgo Pisces eclipse season. Okay, so that's going to be going on until, I believe, the beginning of 2026. Okay, so you could be purging and releasing a lot during this Virgo Pisces eclipse season, or Pisces Virgo eclipse season, depending on how you want to look at it. I love Source giving those confirmations, though. I'm learning to accept the things I cannot change. Yeah, sometimes things are just happening because they're happening, not because it's meant to make you upset, not because it's meant to make you mad, and not even to look into it even deeper with Detective here, right? Great powers of observation and intuition, desire to seek out the truth, the shadow attributes, voyeurism, and falsifying information. And I feel like with this flying out, as I was talking about that, it's just sort of saying, like, not looking too deep into things. Like, there has to be a meaning behind it. Sometimes there is no meaning behind it. Just is. It just simply is. We have Samaritan on the bottom. Refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. The shadow is exciting, exacting appreciation and recognition for the help you offer. Okay, so you're doing things now where you're helping people who maybe you didn't want to help before. Maybe that it was difficult, and holding space for difficult people. Or maybe that was really challenging for you before, and so people are secretly jealous of you because now you're growing, and that's something they're seeing you grow from. Is no longer, maybe you had a rough mouth on you where it was like if someone attacked you, man, you took them to the bank and back, right? And maybe now you're like, oh, I can understand how you feel that way. This is how things are for me. And we can agree to disagree, but we don't have to attack each other because of that. And, you know, whatever that is, I feel like you're coming at it from this more balanced place. And, right, taking things at face value, You've learned to do that for so many things. So there's always going to be more things for us to take at face value. All right, what do we got on the bottom here? Caution. Yeah, you've learned to be cautious about what you're sharing with others. And I feel like that's something that's really powerful here for you. And this person or these people, because it could be more than one person, right? Why are people secretly jealous of you? But I do feel like there's definitely a strong energy here, but it does feel like a group of people as well. You used to share a lot, and now you don't. And now they're worried because they feel like they're missing out on something. Okay, you got a whole bunch of these. On the bottom, yeah. I can't make this up. We've got secrets with codes, treasures, bribes, and disguise, right? You're no longer... I mean, this thing stands out. It's adorable, whatever it is. This little house or this little hut. It's adorable. And it stands out. It's loud. But also, what's inside, right? People want to know what's inside. So you stand out. You're shining brightly, but no one knows exactly what it is that you're doing with your time. So they're secretly jealous of you because of that. Okay, so we had show, flip over first. Spotlight, express, create, radiate joy and enthusiasm. So they're secretly jealous of you because you are shining so bright. We've got hide again here. Cheating, concealment, and misleading. You're also concealing your success. You're concealing what it is that you're doing. Why? Because it's not anybody's business. We've got risk-taking, attack, go ahead, glory favors the brave. So they're secretly jealous because you're not afraid to do the hard things. We see that with the discipline, prosperity, abundance, wealth, good luck, and blessings. Yeah, so they're secretly jealous because they're thinking and feeling you're becoming incredibly prosperous, which you are. But you don't have to share that with anybody because it's not anybody's business, right? It's yours to share with whom you choose to share with. It's not, oh, I'm going to tell you because I always told you before, or that you have a right to this information just because you think you do, right? That's not life. Complicated, lots of twists and turns, a naughty situation, precarious. Yeah, so there's been a lot of twists and turns on your journey. I feel like you have been the person where everybody has seen you go through the good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly, and everything in between. You have definitely shown all those parts of you, and now you're this very emotionally mature person who shows up in a very professional way, in a very grounded way, and in a very loving spiritual way, and no one can figure you out the way that they thought they had you figured out before, and that's why they're secretly jealous of you. Like we have House 5. Isn't it funny? This makes me think of this card right here too. We have passion, play, children, confidence, and creativity. Yeah, so you're learning to have a good time with life, and you're having fun with what you're doing. And so people are secretly jealous because you can show up and have fun. Nothing is too serious for you anymore. Yeah, Virgo. So we got Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn coming out. You could be an earth sign or have earth element highly aspect in your chart. We have integrity, reverence, and service. Also, you're incredibly humble. And maybe before you weren't, or people assumed that you weren't humble. But, you know, we can definitely have periods where we're not, where we're arrogant, and then we learn to be humble. But I do feel like that's something here. It's like people maybe assumed that you were arrogant, or maybe saw you in a state of arrogance, and they just assumed that was how you were all the time. But now they're seeing you in this humble place where you're not like you used to be. That's what I keep coming back to. You're not like you used to be. Second house, again, now know what really matters. So you've taken your self-worth and care and self-love to the next level, and it shows because you've drawn back your energy from people that you otherwise had given it to before when you weren't necessarily caring for yourself the way you needed to. Surrender. I can release my need to control. You've surrendered to this process and you're opening up to what's possible. Happiness, yeah. People are secretly jealous of you because you're so happy. Why shouldn't you be? You love your life. You love what you do. You found newfound glory in who you are. Yeah. Go on with your bad self. tangled web, convoluted justifications, caught up, entranced. Yeah, there's a lot of people here who think that you should give them what they want because they know you or because of a past situation. But you're just, yeah. Oh my gosh, I just heard way back, this is like years ago, way back when I worked for this company, and one of the ladies I worked there, she would always say, I just came in today, I'm happy and high, because we would, terrible story, but the truth, but really not that terrible. We would always smoke weed before we would go into work because we worked on the phones and it just made the day a lot better. I don't smoke weed anymore, but this was way back when. And so we would always laugh, and that became our thing. We would come in the morning, and I'd always ask her, are you happy and high? She's like, I'm happy and high. Are you happy and high? I'd be like, I'm happy and high. And that's what it feels like. You're just happy and high. Like, you know, like, but and maybe you smoke, and that's fine. I have no judgment. You know, it's cute, but I feel like that's exactly, you're just happy and high on life, right? Distant. So far away physically and emotionally. See if you can rekindle the passion again. Yeah, so I feel like people here, they do want to come back in, but you're very distant. You're very far away from them. There's no way for them to rekindle that with you because you're just on a different level than they are now. Let's take a look at your card here. Yeah, ebb and flow. You have this very, like, easygoing energy. You're just really chill, really laid back. Like, nothing is so serious. And wasn't I saying that earlier? Like, nothing is so serious anymore. And maybe at one point it was. But I feel like you're constantly letting go of things that were maybe a big deal for you along the way. And because you let go of these things, and the more that you heal that part of yourself, the more relaxed and at peace you become. And as you continue to open up to this peace and relaxation, you begin to vibrate that out into the world, and people feel that. And so people are jealous because nothing bothers you. You're just going through life completely unbothered, but it's because you've had to work so hard to get here and let go of so much. So I really love this for you, pile number 2. I hope that this resonates, but if you do feel like it is your reading, leave the little ocean wave down below and say, by choosing to be a part of the ocean, I can go with the flow, and I know that I'm going to get wherever it is I need to go. I wasn't gonna make a rhyme, but it just came out that way, so we're just gonna go with it. Oh, I love that when stuff happens like that. Okay, so if it resonated, it would mean so much to me if you're to like, comment, and subscribe down below. I do want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your angels, your messenger source, and my spirit guides for coming through to give us this message. And until next time, pile number 2, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful moonstone, or if you were drawn to this dice with the 6th house on it, or if you were drawn to, you actually got 2 cards for pile number 3. If you're drawn to these cards during this shuffle, and this is going to be your reading on why are people secretly jealous of you. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and space with you. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. And should these messages happen to resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And also a reminder for those of you that are new here, we do things a little bit, I guess this is not a reminder. It's weird. I have a channel message. We're going to get to it in a second. But if you are truly new here, we do things a little bit differently around this channel, and I suggest strapping in, hanging on, and you and I are going to find out together. Channel message. I was getting ready for your pile, and I couldn't stop moving around. I was like very fidgety. And now I'm like having this weird energy where it's like I'm all over the place. And so I feel like people are secretly jealous of you because you might seem like you're not all put together, but you actually are put together. It's just put together for you. It works for you. And it was just a really interesting energy because I feel like you transformed or you changed, or maybe there was something that you were experiencing before where you couldn't get yourself together, and now suddenly you have because of your journey. It's like you went through all of these transformations, you went through all of these sheddings, and emotional baggage was let go of, and egoic sheddings, and the growth from that has put you in a place where now you're seen as this leader and this very strong person. So we're going to get to it. We're going to find out more and see what's coming through. So Source, why are people secretly jealous of pile number 3? What would you like to share today? Why are people secretly jealous of pile number 3, Source? Why are people secretly jealous of pile number 3? Okay, so yeah, we have the South Node. Interesting, yeah. Aquarius and the 11th house. So you could have Aquarius in the North or South Node, which would give you Leo in the opposite. Yeah, I feel like you're different. You're very different, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. That's a beautiful thing. I feel like you just don't fit in anywhere because of that, right? You stand out because you have a big heart, or because you're so loving and kind, or because you get along better with animals than you do with humans, or because you don't know how to socialize with people. You could be even on the spectrum of some sort, right? And that is just enough of a difference where people really believed that you weren't going to get ahead, or you weren't going to have success. And this feels like everybody saw you go through some sort of transformation where it's like, whoa, hold on. Pile 3 threw us for a loop. I do feel like these are people that know you, or people who have at least seen you at some point in your life and made a judgment based on your outwardly expression of self. You could be very disassociated from many people, and it doesn't mean that you don't love deeply. But there are certain things with certain people that just, you're like, that's just not for me, and you're just not attached to it. You just let it go like it was nothing. And maybe for those people that you let it go from, it was maybe a big deal for them, and they didn't like that. But you just right away realized it wasn't resonating with you, and you were on to the next thing because you chose yourself, because you often do choose yourself. And that may be something that you've done since you were a child. You were willing to let go of things that just don't work for you, and you're not worried about whose feelings it hurts. You're not worried about who's going over here and going to say what about it, because ultimately it was your choice, and you made the choice that you needed to for yourself. And maybe there's the question of why does that bother people? But honestly, pile 3, I feel like you've never even really asked that question, because you're probably here for entertainment, just to see, are people are jealous of me? Like, I feel like more than anything, that's the energy that you're in, pile 3. Because I feel like it's entertaining to you. Why would people be jealous? They've got they've got to figure out their own stuff. And I feel like you're very much in that energy. And if you haven't been in that energy your whole life, like, it's something you've learned. You're very good at letting things go. You're a pro at it. Change, while it might be difficult for you, it's something that, as long as it is what you want and what you need, you're okay with change. And you see the benefit in it. It's just like a logical standpoint that you have when it comes to life and growth. There may have been a lot of upsets for you along the journey as well when it comes to people who were in your life. I don't feel like you were necessarily holding on, but maybe people were holding on to you, and eventually you had to say uncomfortable things to them, but you did it. And that's why people are secretly jealous of you, is because you said what needed to be said and spoke a truth that needed to be spoken. And they were like, I should have been the one that said that. But they weren't, because you said it. Also, a very specific message is coming through. Some of you may have Tourette's. And that may have immediately put you on the chopping block for judgment for some people. Like, how could someone who's diagnosed with Tourette's ever amount to anything? And that's such a load of crap. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter. You should, you know, if you don't know who he is, check out Les Brown. And I'm going to shortly explain something here. Mainly because people don't see this, right? But Les Brown, he's a twin, and he was diagnosed with a learning disability when he was younger, and the doctor said, you'll never be smart, like you'll never absorb energy or information. And Les Brown is like one of the greatest speakers of our time. He's incredibly inspirational, and he's just an amazing person to listen to. And he always talks about this story, and he tells people, don't let a diagnosis become your reality. Don't let other people tell you who you're going to be. And I feel like that's what these individuals expected, that you were going to be who they told you to be, but none of that even made sense to you. So you never fit into that box, and that's why they're jealous of you, because for you it was just easy enough to be like, no, that's not who I am, so I'm just going to keep doing what's right for me. And you let go. And others were holding on, and they're like, no, come back, you have to believe us. And you didn't, because why would you stick around for something you'd already checked out from? Why would you stick around? It's like, if I already said goodbye, why am I going to go say hello? You know? I like your energy. Oh, I really do. I like your energy a lot. We need some blunt people in life. People are just like, not today. Why do I hear that song? I don't usually curse, but I'm going to sing it right now because it's coming through, and I cannot remember who sings this song. So please, if you remember who sings this song, would you please comment down below for other pile number 3s? But I feel like you were in this energy right now, like, hell to the nah, nah. Oh, hell to the nah, nah. People are like, come back, and you're like, not today, not today. So I feel like that's the thing, like, even if you are on the spectrum or whatever, you're still sociable, but there's just things that people do that doesn't make sense to you, and that's why you're able to do and perform the way that you do, because there's just things that don't make sense. Why would you try to make it make sense if it don't make sense? Make it make sense. I don't need to. It's interesting. I feel like this wants to come out in the upright, but I am going to talk about it in the horizontal right now, because there's been a lot of negativity in your life. But with it wanting to come out in the upright, it's talking about you overcoming that negativity. And when other people are stranded by that negativity, and maybe it did bother you at some point, maybe it was weighing on you at one point, but I feel like you've come into this place of just truly embracing your weirdness. Whatever that weirdness is, who cares? Own it. You're the only person that can express that in the world, and that makes it cool, right? And I feel like you do, and people are like, oh no, you have to be this, or you have to be that, and it was a lot of negativity that was just thrown onto you, or expectations are coming through as well. I mean, there's a lot of expectations that were put on you where people were trying to make you fit into their box or their version of what you needed to be. And you never could, because it didn't make sense. And so they're secretly jealous of you because you're free in that aspect. And you've overcome so much negativity. Let me see if this changes the... I don't know. I hope that's not too dark on the other side. We're going to see. We're going to see how it turns out. I just don't want to close the blinds because the air conditioner's not working and the windows are open right now. So there's a breeze coming in from the ocean and I just don't want to close the window. All right. So To find out why people are secretly jealous of you. Pile number 3. Yeah, you're very abundant. Okay, this is interesting. I want you to see this. So I would, can you see that? Okay. Do you see where it's split right there? I'm going to check out what this card is. So I'm going to put my finger there. I don't know what it is yet, but I'm going to bring this back over here because I feel like maybe this is better. No, that's better. Okay. They're secretly jealous of you because you're abundant. You could have been building up some wealth in your life or had a sudden increase in your finances. You're building a nest egg is what I'm hearing as well. And they feel like it's unfair that you're getting this abundance. They feel like they deserve it more than you, which is silly. You're the one that's working for it. You deserve it. And that's why they're secretly jealous of you, because you're very abundant. You have a lot going for you. You could have a house. You could have a car. You could have a savings account that helps you get whatever it is that you need. You're taking care of yourself, though. And maybe you're not on the spectrum. Maybe you're just somebody who never fit in. You could be a starseed that's never fit in. You could be someone who you're different. You're the one person in your family that sticks out. You just don't belong, right? And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, but that's what it is. Everybody thought you were going to fail, and you're succeeding in a way that they never could. And so they feel like they deserve your abundance more than you do, because why would you get blessed with abundance when you are who you are? Man, that's crazy. Get out of here. Yeah. You look at this. We've got the 6 of coins, a lot of money. And if not yet, this is something you're building. Okay. And here's the energy that's coming through is like, you're going to get all this abundance, and it is going to shake the very core of who they are. The very foundation that they feel that is so substantial for them. This is shaking the very core of what they built their life around. And that's why they're secretly jealous of you, because not only are you free, maybe you make your own hours. You don't have to, but maybe you work a job that you absolutely love. Maybe you own a business that is fruitful and is giving back to you. It's because you've done the work to get you there. Like, you let go of any patterns or beliefs that had to do with earning money. You, like I said, you're pro at letting go of things that hold you back. And that's why people are secretly jealous of you. You don't let anything hold you back. And you bring in all this abundance to your life. And maybe you're like, no, I don't have all that abundance right now, but it's coming. That's what Source is saying. And it's going to come in. And once it starts, it's going to start snowballing like crazy into your life. Yeah, we have the Page of Cups here. Yeah, and the 7 of Cups. Yeah. A lot of people here felt like they could get away with giving you the bare minimum. And that you would let them into your life. And you would give them some of your wealth. You would give them your abundance. And the truth is that you set these incredible emotional boundaries against that. Where it's like, if you're not a part of my life when I was struggling, why should you be a part of my life when I'm winning? And so people are secretly jealous because you cut them out. You know, these are the people, I'm going to try and close this just a tad. These are the people who expect to be in grandma's will just because we're related, right? That's exactly who these people are. They just they expect to get an equal portion of the cut, even though they never talk to grandma. They don't even know what grandma's last name is. They don't even know what her favorite color is. But hey, or this is my long lost auntie who I had no idea existed, but I should be in their will because they're wealthy and they owe it to me. That's exactly why people are jealous of you. This is interesting. And I feel like even people who are just naturally jealous people, they see you, maybe they see you buying nice things. Maybe they see you getting a whole bunch of good things in your life. Maybe they see you driving around in a nice car. And they're immediately jealous of you because of that. But this is people who are close to you. They feel like they can sugarcoat it, but you see through it. Why? Because you're a no BS kind of person, and you see right through that, and you're not going to put up with it. And so there's something here that transformed for you. A lot of being uncomfortable to coming into a place of being comfortable. So maybe you had a lot of discomfort in your life, or a lot of judgments that made you feel uncomfortable, and then coming back into this place of feeling comfortable. We have confidence with self-confidence, or I'm sorry, Leo, with self-confidence, loyalty, and creativity. Yeah, you're very confident with who you are now. And you're loyal to your creative craft, whatever that is. And people are secretly jealous of that. You're not afraid to take chances. Yeah, the 6th house here. Didn't yours have the 6th house on the dice when we were choosing? I'm pretty sure it did. Establishing a foundation, health, daily life, and practical details. And didn't I say that your having success is crumbling the very foundations of what some of these people have built in their life, and they cannot comprehend how you did that? Because maybe they think that, and again, this is where they're coming from, right? This is not the truth of you, but maybe they think that you're dumb. Maybe they feel like you're completely ignorant to life. Maybe they feel like you are so disconnected. Why should you ever have success because you're so disconnected? That's what this really feels like. We have fixed energy here with Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, stability, persistence, loyalty, and dependability. You know what? Anybody who, if you're playing a flute, and you don't know how to play, if you pick up that flute every day for the next 5 years, eventually you're going to become a master. It wasn't about anything other than building your skill, creating a solid foundation for you to springboard off of, and you have, and you've been completely loyal to that process. And they're just having a hard time wrapping their head around how you were able to put in so much time and effort towards this and create this for yourself. So we have Void of Course Moon. Ask again later. I'm going to get a card to clarify this. Can we please have a card to clarify the Void of Course Moon? Okay. We have Vesta with Fuel Your Inner Fire. So the thing is that you spent time fueling your inner fire. You spent time fueling your passion, finding what you love. And that's why people are so shocked by you and they're jealous about this situation, because I feel like for you, Pile 3, maybe it took a long time for you to understand who you were. And in turn, that would also take a long time for you to know what your passion was. So you could have gone through 25 plus years of life before you ever found out who you were. Maybe not. For some of you, that's not going to resonate, but I do feel like there's a huge portion of you that have lived a great deal of life before you even found out what your passion was and started pursuing it. And that's why they're so jealous of you, because you weren't so affected by how society was dictating them that you continued to stay in that societal construct. You broke it down very, very quickly. And I feel like I'm tripping on my words. Maybe you have a hard time articulating yourself with people, or if people are making fun of you, you don't know how to be super witty back to them, or it's hard for you to say nasty things back to a person because you're so kind-hearted. Whatever it is, right? There's no shame in that at all. But I feel like I keep tripping over my words in this pile, and it's interesting because I'm having a hard time trying to tell you what it is that I'm feeling when I'm feeling it so deeply. And I really feel like that's you. You feel something so deeply, but to convey that to somebody is difficult. It's almost like if I could touch you on the forehead and not have to talk, I could just wish my energy or my feelings into you, and you would know exactly what it is that I'm feeling. Maybe you come from a star group that's what they did. It was all about physical touch that conveyed emotion rather than actual speaking. I don't know, it's coming through really strongly. Look, and on this Venus card, with the mouth, I didn't even know that was on there. I didn't even know what it was because I was talking and looking out the window. We have attracting abundance, and that's the other reason why people are secretly jealous of you, is because you're attracting all this abundance. I mean, again, these repeat messages. I'm going to get one more. Everyone else had 4 of these, I'm pretty sure. Oh, and also, if you watched all 3 piles, that's a part of my Purple Heart Club. Leave a purple heart down below and just say I made it. I know what that means. I appreciate those of you that spend the whole reading with me. It truly does mean a lot to me. And even if you didn't, I still appreciate you spending any amount of time with me. It's just such a blessing to have you here. We have third house. Take a good look around. Look at the mouth and the ear. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, it's difficult for you to convey what it is that you're feeling, or even to articulate what it is that's going on with you. And maybe people thought that you were stupid because you were having a hard time articulating yourself or talking about what was going on, and people just automatically assumed that you were completely incapable, and that's not true at all. I just feel like it's hard for you because you feel it so deeply. It's like from the soul, and there are no words to express what you're actually feeling. And so people mistook you as something that you're not at all. And you had to actually take a look around and see, is this something or someone I want in my life? Or these people I want in my life? I want to attract abundance, but I'm going to have to take a look around and see, are these people that I want to share my abundance with? And I feel like you ran away from them, or you moved on from them without even a care. Like, it was just no big deal. Like, realizing this is not who I want in my life. Like, we've got Chiron on the bottom. Yeah, focus on healing, hurt and heal, the wounded healer. Yeah, you've experienced a lot. And maybe it's been hard for you to talk about what you've experienced in life, and people just assume that you haven't experienced anything because it's hard to talk about. It's hard to talk about how deeply you're feeling it. Like, we have health. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. So a lot of healing, a lot of focusing on your physical body here. So people, maybe you have very stable health and people are secretly jealous because you're always healthy. But you take time to focus on what your body needs. Grief, yeah, exactly. I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. And maybe that's why I'm having such a hard time conveying this reading as well, is because you've experienced so much grief, and it's just so heavy that it seems like no one understands. It's like, why would I even talk about it when no one understands how much grief I've had in my life? But I do feel like you're meant to help others heal from that as well, and to show others that life can get better from grief like that, from hardships. But I don't feel like it's just loss of a person or people in your life. I feel like this is grief from having dealt with individuals that are coming through in this reading. That energy, of course that would cause you grief, because you're everything there that, you know, I'm sorry, you're not anything like what they're saying. You're everything that they're not saying. Right? And what are they not saying? They're not telling people how smart you are. They're not telling people how you created something from nothing. They're not telling people how you figured it out. Why? Because that would mean that they would have opened their mouth and inserted foot, opened their mouth and inserted foot up to their thigh and probably further. These are people who benefit from putting down your good name because they think that it paints them a certain way. Get out of here. No wonder you left these people behind, or are in the process of leaving these people behind. Look, we have hero and heroine. The light is a passion for a journey of personal empowerment. Yeah, you're all about the journey. Shadow is escapism and a false sense of heroism. And I feel like these people are in that place of false heroism, thinking like, oh, I saved pile number 3. I'm doing what pile number 3 needs me to do because they can't do it on their own. Like, they have really painted a bad picture of you. But the only reason that they're doing this, pile 3, is because they're secretly jealous of you. We have liberator here. Light attributes. Freeing yourself and others from outmoded beliefs. Releasing negative thought patterns. The shadow attributes is imposing your own tyranny over those you claim to liberate. Wow, isn't that what I was just saying? Ignoring legitimate constraints. Yeah, I feel like you're just someone who, you could be a closet nerd too, and you know, you just might not have the ability to be super outgoing, but I do feel like you're outgoing with people who see you. I feel like people are like, man, once I got to know pile number 3, they never shut up. But I'm glad they don't shut up. You know what I mean? These people, they never got to know you like that because they didn't care to, because they judged you based on your outward appearance or based on maybe little tics that you have, or maybe because you struggle to articulate things out and around large groups of people, or maybe because when you're around large groups of people, you might isolate because it's too overwhelming. You do things that aren't what normal, okay, I'm using this loosely, what normal people would do. You do things that matter to you because you have to take care of your energy. But just because you're not going to put yourself on the line for everyone out there because the world says to, they're already prejudging you, get out of here. Scribe, preserving knowledge and information. The shadow is altering facts and plagiarizing others' work. Yeah. And maybe that's why they want to know what you're up to too, so that they can copy you. I don't think that they can though. They may try, but I don't feel like they're very successful at it at all because it's not theirs to copy. They got to figure out what's right for them. But you found what's right for you and you're putting all your energy and effort into it. And I feel like it comes down to that you know who you are. And that's going to make a lot of people who are unhealed jealous anyways, just knowing who you are. Going with the flow. Yeah, you've learned to flow with life. You've learned the flow of the universe. Why are people secretly jealous of pile number 3? Why are people secretly jealous of pile number 3? Yeah, you're such a beautiful soul, pile number 3. If no one's told you, I'm telling you today, because I feel like you need to hear it. You really are a beautiful soul. Yeah, okay, I'm not surprised here. We have determination. Go all out. Struggle desperately. A belief in victory. Yeah. This makes me think of the strength card from the Osho Zen, which I don't have out today, but it's this determination to grow in a place that you were never meant to grow in, but somehow you did. You found a way. You found a way to grow in a very restrictive environment. You were betrayed. With breakup, divorce, infidelity. This could be betrayal by family, friends, a lover. We have flirt, flip out here with love, seduce, lover, and lust. So you could have been betrayed by someone you loved. Could have been betrayed by family. But there was a huge betrayal here. And I feel like not a lot of people know exactly what it is that you experienced. Maybe they've heard snippets of it, but they don't know the extent of how bad things were. But for you, you have learned to appreciate life. And regardless of your story, you're in this place of being grateful for having the things that you have, for the blessings in your life. And because of that gratitude, you're constantly getting more. Because when we are thankful for the small things, Source is like, great, you're going to be thankful for the big things. Here you go. You know? And a lot of people, they don't grasp onto that very well. And they focus only on the negative, and you're focused on the positive and what you can grow, and you're attracting all kinds of abundance right now. We have follow instructions, instigation, and faith. Yeah, you followed your faith and your intuition and the downloads that you were receiving. Trust. Yeah, trust. You trust that Source is going to get you there. You also trust in yourself, and you have faith in yourself, which is something that a lot of people don't have. And that's such a profound thing for you, pile number 3. Wow, this is a very deep reading. I know this is a difficult reading, but if you've gotten this far, let me give you this big energetic hug. You're incredible. You're amazing. You're doing a wonderful job. And I just want you to know how beautiful you are, because you truly are needed in this world, okay? And I'm so sorry you had to go through difficulties like this. You never deserved that. Let's take a look at your cards. You got 2 of these, and we're going to see what they say. Yeah. So people are secretly jealous of you because of your blessings. You're always getting blessed. You deserve to get blessed. You seeing your value, you're seeing your worth, but also you recognizing that it's okay for me to let go of things so I can make space for new things. Yeah. And they're secretly jealous because you're in this very harmonious era of your life. Why wouldn't you be? You're seeing that when you trusted Source and when you opened up to the beauty of life, all things started working out for you. Why wouldn't you be in that place of harmony? And so that's why people are feeling this way about you now. And ultimately, this is people who have been close to you, who are are close to you or have been close to you in the past, they're seeing you as an entirely different person now, and they don't understand how you did it. But you know what? Ultimately, pile number 3, that is not their business at all. You did it, and let me give you a round of applause because you did an amazing job. All right, so this is what I see here for you. If you felt like this was your reading, leave the little rainbow emoji down below and say, through my trust and my faith in myself and the divine, I have opened myself up to receiving the blessings that are always meant to be mine. And again, I was not trying to rhyme. That happened in another pile too, but it came out, so we're just gonna go with it. If it resonated with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And if you are interested in supporting the channel further, check out the description box. It has everything you need, including how to reach me for your personal reading, as well as how to join as a member. With that, I do want to take a quick second and thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming in to give us this incredible message. And until next time, pile number 3, stay human. Bye.